Hello, good morning everyone. Today I am going to present my topic Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development. This is the theory given by Erik Erikson. Actually, it tells us about different stages, different 8 stages, as you are seeing in this slide share. We will discuss these stages further. Who was Erik Erikson? Erik Erikson was an educationist. He was a psychologist, we can say, who born in Germany, and he died in USA in 1994. He is well known for his work in psychology for children development, and he was influenced by Sigmund Freud, and he was in direct contact with Anna Freud. Anna Freud was the daughter of Sigmund Freud. He explained the theory of psychosocial development and coined the term lifespan development. So, now we are going to discuss about the main characteristics of his theory. As he was a student of Freud, he was greatly influenced by Freud's theories of personality development. But his main focus was on the social environment. He paid the main focus on social environment as social interaction and relationships. Both of these, social interaction and relationships, they play a role in the development of personality of human beings, or we can say it is the development of psychological development of a human being or a person. So we can say social environment and relationships both play a role in the psychological development of a person. And in each stage, Erikson believed people experience a conflict. A conflict means during the life, any person faces different type of challenges in his or her life. Mostly, they have to face many type of different conflicts, and if people successfully deal with those conflicts, of course, it will make them psychologically strong, as they will feel that, oh, we can solve our problems by ourselves. So it will make them more confident if they face the challenges of life, if they won the conflicts of life happily and successfully. On the other hand, if the stage is managed poorly, if during our different type of age stages, if any type of stage is managed poorly and a person becomes weak at that stage, of course the person will start thinking that I am not worthy, my life is meaningless, I am inadequate, and of course it will make him to think that he is not worthy. So, if a person successfully deals with conflict, a sense of mastery, a sense of ego, confidence will be strengthened, and he or she will become psychologically strong. And on the other hand, if a person cannot successfully deal with the conflict and he loses during the challenges he's going to face, of course, a sense of inadequacy insecurity will make him to think that I am not worthy. Now we are going to start with stages. Infancy. Stage 1. Infancy. It is 0 to 18 months. And basic conflict is here trust versus mistrust. Trust versus mistrust means this is the stage during which a person can build his trust or mistrust towards others. Look, we think that child is little one. He or she cannot understand anything, but this is the very first stage that he starts trusting or mistrusting others in coming years of his life. So during this stage, an infant totally depends on his parents and on his caregivers. Why? Because he is not physically strong and he or she has to depend upon others for food, for love, for safety, for nurturing, and for nappy changes, for feeding. So, if a parent or a caregiver provides proper care and love to a child will successfully develop trust. He or she will feel, oh, this word is very safe and secure in the word. As the child starts crying, his or her mother comes to her or comes to him to console him. So now the child at this stage feels safe and secure. But on the other hand, if a child wants attention, but the caregivers are inconsistent, they are not emotionally available for the children. And of course, here a feeling of mistrust develops among those children who are not being cared and who are not getting proper affection, love, warmth, safety by their parents and their caregivers. So during this stage, trust and mistrust takes place. Look, trust versus mistrust. Only there are two types of conflict, trust or mistrust. So infants basic needs are either met or not met by the parents. Maybe there are some parents who are always available for their children, so their children will automatically develop trust for others too. But there are some children whose basic needs means food, caring, comfort, they are not met by their parents and caregivers. So the infants will think that no, people in this world are not reliable, and this sense of mistrust will make him suffer in his coming years too. So it is very necessary for us to be with our children during this stage. That's why it is so important that trust will only develop among the children if we are giving them proper affection and care. If their needs are not being fulfilled by us, then of course the children will develop a feeling of mistrust for others. Stage 2 is early childhood. Early childhood, 2 to 3 years, and here the basic conflict is autonomy versus shame and doubt. And here is the main event, toilet training. So, here during this stage, children develop a greater sense of personal control. Personal control means he or she wants to control their physical activities like urine, like stool passing. So, here children gain a little independence. They start performing some basic actions, some simple activities, and of course, here they decide, they take some simple decisions about their toys, about their clothes, about their friends. So, if parents allow their kids to make their choices, those children will develop a sense of autonomy. If children are not given full freedom to make their choices by themselves, then a feeling of control and a sense of dependence on others will make them to full of shame and doubt. So, children who successfully complete this stage, successfully complete means here they are given freedom by their parents to choose the toys, to choose their friends, to choose their clothes. So, here, if the parents are giving them more hard instructions, no, you have to wear this, no, you have to play with this toy, now it is time to sleep, now it is time to play, then the children will be filled with shame and doubt, and they will start with self doubt, and here they will think that they are not adequate. So sense of inadequacy and self doubt will be developed as they will start thinking whether we are not smart enough to take our decisions by ourselves. So look here, other important landmarks of this stage of development include picking out what to wear, choosing what to eat, choosing what toys to play with, choosing how to eat, choosing where to sit. So, here the children want to do all the things by themselves. They want to button their clothes, they want to tie their own shoes, they want to eat by themselves. But here, some parents start giving instructions. No, I will button your shirt. I will tie your laces. No, don't eat like this. So, this is the stage where you have to give little, you have to give little instructions to your children as a parents if you want to make them to be confident. Then stage third is of preschool, 3 to 5 years. This is the stage where the children start exploring their minds. This is the stage of initiative versus guilt. So, children begin to assert their power and control over the world through directing, play, and other social interactions. Here, the children want to control things by themselves. So, if children who are successful at this stage, uh, they will start feeling capable and they think that they are able to lead others. Those who fail to acquire these skills are left with a sense of guilt, self doubt, and a lack of initiative. During this stage, when the children go on playing with others, suppose there are four children who are playing together, but one child maybe has a quality of leading others. So, other children of street, other children of his area prefer to play with that particular child, and there is a child who is not liked by others. So maybe the child who is being preferred by others, he or she will feel that he is capable, and maybe the quality of leadership will take place, and the child who is not being liked by others, he or she will feel and develop a sense of guilt. Why other children don't like me? Am I not good? And of course, here is the stage where the child can start doing self doubt. And of course, why he or she will take initiative when others are not giving positive response to his or her initiatives? So, during this stage, there are some children who start taking initiative in their life. Who will be those children? Only those children will start taking initiatives in their life who think that we are capable enough, and of course who are very smart in social interactions. But there are some children who are shy, who are introvert, and others do not prefer to sit with them. So maybe that child can develop a sense of guilt, self doubt, and lack of initiative. So if you allow your child as a parent to do all the work by himself or herself, of course, the child will start thinking that I can take initiative. But if you, as a parent, start giving instructions, why you have done this, don't do this. So, if you give such type of instructions to your child at this stage, the child will never think of taking initiative in his or her life. So, and during this stage, the child will start doubting his or her own personality. Initiative versus guilt. Child must learn to initiate tasks and conversations. Conversations means कि suppose we have met a group of children first time. There will be a child who will start conversation. Hello, uh, let us play. They will not be formal, their talks will be informal, but there will be some child who will take initiative to call others. So child must take initiative to start the task or conversation. And if parent takes over, child will feel guilty and stop initiating. Suppose we have visited to someone's home, and the host family has asked some question to your child. What is your name, beta? And you have not given a sufficient time to your child to give the answer, and by yourself you are telling that the name of my child is so and so. So it is your fault. As a parent, you should never take over your child, and your child should be given proper and enough time to start initiative. If this stage is not successful, this can lead to difficulty in making decisions later in life. Of course, here during this stage, if you will start handling his or her life by yourself, your child will never try to handle his or her life by themselves in later life. For example, you will allow your child to clean up all the toys, make their bed, get dressed, put dishes in dishwasher. And if you go in and remake their bed, you are telling them they are not good enough. So here you will let your children to take initiatives and let them do their work by themselves. Stage number 4 is school age. School age means here a child is a student, and a lots of activities, academic activities, curricular activities, co-curricular activities are expected from a child. So here the important event is school. In school, The children will start developing new relations, and of course here the main focus is on the development of the abilities, achievements, accomplishments, and if the child is doing very well in his academic activities, he will develop a sense of pride. So children who are encouraged by their parents and teachers, a feeling of competence and belief in their skills will be developed. So, if you are appreciating the efforts of children during this stage, as children are now more industrious, more hardworking, they are doing more sincere efforts. So, during this phase, you have to give them uh, appreciation, and of course, they should be commended and encouraged by you, and a competence skill will be developed among the children during this stage. And here are some children who are not appreciated, who are not applauded, or we can say encouraged by parents, teachers, and peers. So, here during the stage, there are some children who always raise their hands in the class. But on the other hand, there are always some students who never try to raise their hands in the class. Why? As they doubt their own abilities because others do not appreciate them, others do not motivate them. They start thinking that we are not good enough in studies, and my other classmates who always raise hands in the class, they are better than us. And here the sense of inferiority complex developed among those children. So this is the stage of industry. Industry means hard work versus inferiority. Some students will be appreciated by their parents for their accomplishments. Of course, they will have superiority complex, and on the other hand, some of them will develop inferiority complex as they think that we are not good as our other classmates are. So, here what do you mean by industry? Actually, industry means the labor, hard work, child's involvement in situations where long, patient work is demanded of them. So, if the students are given some type of homework, assignments, some students give their time, energy, capability to polish their work. On the other hand, there are some children who are not capable enough to handle that pressure. So, inferiority will be the feeling created when a child gets a feeling of failure, when they cannot finish their work in time, or maybe they are not getting good grades in their exams or house tests. So, here the inferiority complex can be developed among the students. So, when we ask some children to complete tasks beyond their abilities, maybe you see all the students have individual differences. There are some students who are very bright, but there are some students who are average in studies, and there are some students who are slow learners. So, for a slow learner, it is a difficult task to complete that particular assignment within a particular time as his or her other classmates are doing. So, if we pressurize them, of course, their intelligence level will not be changed. It will remain same. So, you have to minimize your expectations from those students. Too much criticism, too much pressure, that will develop a feeling of inferiority among children. So, When we do not encourage children to work and learn skills, some students start feeling inferior and unmotivated. Maybe a teacher comes in the class, and of course he or she has seen that there are this and this student is very intelligent. So always whenever any type of teaching learning process is going on, so some students are expected to involve in teaching learning process. But there are some students who start thinking that we are always neglected in the class. So this is the stage where inferiority complex develops. Then stage number fifth. It is the stage of identity versus confusion. So this is the stage where lots of social relationships children start making. Here, a sense of personal identity is also developed. And personal identity will be shaped by our experiences and interactions with others. Which type of friends we have, which type of experiences we are going to experience, they all will collectively influence our personal identity. So, children explore their independence and develop a sense of self here. Those children who are here, actually, not children, we should say adolescents. So, as we know that adolescence is a stage of stress and strain. So, if during this stage they are getting proper encouragement, reinforcement by their parents and teachers, then a strong sense of self identity will be developed. They will start thinking we are something, we are wanted, we are loved, we are admired by others. So, there are some students who remain unsure of their beliefs and desires, and of course, they start feeling insecure. Why we are not wanted in the class? I was absent in the class, but teacher didn't remember that I was absent. Why my absence doesn't make a difference to others? So, this is the stage where some students start confusing about themselves. And according to Erikson, our ego identity constantly changes. Ego identity means, of course, with the passage of time, we are going to face a new type of experiences in our life, and of course, there will be uh, an information which we are going to acquire, and this information is also changing day by day. So as we have new experiences, we also take on challenges that can help or hinder the development of identity. As now this is the period of COVID-19, maybe some of the students during this phase, they will do very well, they will be positive, they will start working more hard, and of course they will be ready to take any type of challenge. But there will be some students who will start thinking negatively, and of course it will hinder the development of their identity. So this is the main event, there will be the main event of social relationships. So here we are known by our friends, which type of our friends are, what is our identity in the classroom, what is our personality trait by which our parents appreciate us. So this is the stage 12 to 18. Here some students start feeling role confusion. But I am. What is my role? Am I an adult? Look, these are the questions. So, how do I make right choice? What do people what do people mean by right choices? Who am I? Am I an adult or a kid? What do others think of me? Do I fulfill my parents' expectations or mine? Here are lots of questions which start confusing the adolescent. That's why you will see lots of physical, psychological changes, psychological behavioral problems among the students during this stage. So, adolescence is the period of discovering more about oneself and search for identity. And here, a student has to make so many decisions to choose friends, to choose school, career options, self concept, attitudes, who am I. So, here the adolescents are confused about their roles or expected roles. Then, stage 6 is young adulthood, and it is 19 to 40 years. This is the stage of intimacy versus isolation. Relationships. Actually, here the main event is relationships. During the early adulthood, people explore their personal relations, love affairs, marriages, families. So, this is the step where the people start forming relations, and those relations are secure relations. Like marriage is a secure relation. So, strong sense of personal identity develops intimate relationships. A person who has a strong sense of personal identity, of course, he or she will try to develop intimate relationships with others. But nowadays, if you see now the present scenario, most of the people are afraid of trying intimate relations. They are just making relations for time pass. So, poor sense of self develops less committed relations. Actually, the people want nowadays relationships, but they don't want any type of commitment in those relations, like live-in relations. So, in such relations, people suffer emotionally. So, emotional isolation, loneliness, depression, these are the common problems if we see in the present scenario when the people are not committed for their intimate relationships. So if we are having successful relationships with others, then it will result in love. Love means when we have lasting relationships, meaningful relationships, and when we suppose we love someone, then we propose, then of course we marry that person, then we of course our children take birth. This is the actually complete relationship. So this is the stage where intimacy versus isolation. On the other hand, now isolation, some people don't want to commit, so that's why they become isolated. They just want physical enjoyment. So that's why during this stage they can make relations with others, but they don't want to be bound with one person. So sometimes during this phase you will see there are so many people who are being isolated, they are not having their family. Look at this stage. Stage 6, young adulthood, intimacies versus isolation. So, here the important event is parenting, and the important relationship are lovers, friends, work connections. Of course, during this stage up to 40, we are supposed to do any type of work. There will be our colleagues, or of course there will be our connections at our workplace. We will have lots of friends, we will have our children, we will have our life partners, so intimate relationships will be developed. But on the other hand, if some people are isolated, it can lead to promiscuity. Promiscuity means there are some people who are not bound to only one person. They make sexual relations with different and lots of persons. So that's why they want to satisfy their sexual urges but not bound with a person, and of course they try another more and new person. This is promiscuity. Exclusivity means they exclude themselves. They don't want to take any type of responsibility of making family, so they don't want to take responsibilities of his or her, we can say his wife or his or her life partner. So this is the stage where people want to isolate themselves. There is another slide. Develop a relationship and joint identity with a partner. Joint identity means here we actually, when we are married, of course you will not say I. Here the we feeling naturally takes place. Or one person can become isolated and stay away from meaningful relationship. He or she doesn't want to make any type of meaningful relationships. That's why actually here on the stage, maybe there is a person who is being afraid that maybe he or she will be rejected. That's why he or she never tries to be involved in relationship with someone. So fear of rejection may confuse a person, and maybe this is the reason there are some persons who are being isolated. Then this is the stage 7. Stage 7, Erikson's theory, generativity versus stagnation. This is the stage 40 to 65. Of course, here you have a lots of pressure, your family, your career, your health, your duties towards community, and you always are very busy and involved in the world. You are doing some productive for your family, for yourself, and for your society. And here you are proud of your accomplishments. Of course, my wife, my husband, my children, my work. Here you have a proud of your accomplishments, and even the accomplishments of your children, accomplishments of life partner, they are also very important to you. So, a person experiencing generativity is concerned with the next generation. So, here during this stage, as a parent, as a teacher, as an employer, you want to help others and you are very well adjusted, you are satisfied with your life. If you are happy with your family, if you are happy with your work, if you are happy in your society where you live, so so of course you will be satisfied with your life. Then the stage is maturity, last stage, 65 and above 65. This is the stage of ego integrity versus despair, reflection of life. During this stage, it is the final psychosocial stage. During this stage, you start reflecting back what I have gained in my life. Am I happy with my life? Am I satisfied with my life? So people start looking back on the events of their lives and determine if they are happy with their life that they lived, or if they regret the things they did or didn't do. Maybe there may be some type of activities which can be source of regret for a person. Why, oh my god, why did I do this? Why I have not done this? So this is the time for regret. But the persons who have done very well in their life, of course, they will feel proud. Oh, I I have enjoyed my life very well. So those who are unsuccessful during this stage, they will feel that their life has been wasted. Start regretting, of course. Feeling of bitterness, despair. Why despair? Why bitterness? Because now time is not left for amendments to rectify the mistakes of the past. So those who feel proud of their accomplishments, they will feel a sense of integrity. Successfully completing this phase means looking back with few regrets. Yes, to err is human. People commit lots of mistakes, but if they are few, of course, we will not regret for that, and a feeling of satisfaction will take place. And during this stage, the individuals who are satisfied with their life, they will attain wisdom. Even when confronting death, they will not be afraid of death. They will start experiencing, and they will start taking happiness from the old age too. Actually, this is the stage where there are lots of health problems too. But they will try to keep themselves busy in improving their health. So, stage 8 is maturity, integrity versus despair. Here, the important event is reflection on and acceptance. The individual is creating meaning, purpose, achievements. Of course, if we are failure, if we have not any good achievements in life, then of course, feeling of despair will be there. So, thank you so much. There are some references which I have used to make my presentation. Thank you so much.